say, cause only what I say.
There is no true way to navigate multidimensional existence. Um, you just are, honestly, and in the process of you being, you're just gonna remember more aspects of yourself, or you're gonna remember more of your infinite self. Um, so it's kind of like you fractalizing yourself so that you can experience yourself from as a smaller version in a larger version of you. But there's no true way to do it. That's a tricky question. And the only reason why you know, we feel that question as a collective is because of the mimic, I say the mimic interference, because they try to make us feel like shit is supposed to be a specific way, right? Like we supposed to act a certain way. Spirituality is like this. If you ain't doing this and you ain't doing that, then you ain't spiritual or you ain't multidimensional. That is bullshit. You are multidimensional by genetics. So by genetic, you already exist in 15 dimensions at least, right? And as you activate these genetics, you gain access to those portions of yourself, and those versions of you are already they already exist. So they're already navigating that dimension, and you navigating this dimension. But see, that's tricky within itself because you are it, and it is you. So that's you already conducting multi-dimensional navigation. Let's say it like that. Yeah, there's no true way to do it because you're already doing it effortlessly. Now, you said effectively. Now, when we speak about effectiveness, what exactly are we talking about? What are we looking to be effective within? I mean, success is beyond materialism, right? It depends what you consider success to even be. So let's put it in a real way, right? In a real perspective. Before you incarnate in this realm, before you are born, before you sign up to come here, you sign a mission, you sign a contract, you sign a purpose. So you don't just come here for no reason, right? Your soul or your higher self, you created yourself with purpose, right? So now your success is measured based upon whether you fulfill your purpose or not. People are stuck in the illusion of what the mimic system or this fake society, this phantom matrix, fallen construct. I don't want to call it a hellish system because the real hell is not even what they told you it was. They lied about that too. So, in a way, like a lot of people are stuck within the measures of mimic success. And for those of you that don't know what mimic success is you basing your value upon a false system, upon a false radar. So if you allow somebody to tell you that you are worth, that you have a net worth, right? To give you your worth, you're allowing that person to dictate your success based upon their measures. You are already effortless. I mean, priceless, and you are effortlessly priceless because you are an extension of the source. You are an extension of the universe. You are the universe. So you cannot price the universe. Just be yourself. That is the most effective way to be successful is to express yourself, your authentic self. That is true success or true effective multidimensional navigation. The root of all stagnancy. Well, it's stagnancy within itself, right? It will be the mimic matrix and the parasitical entities and parasitical beings, spirits, um, energies that are literally siphoning life, siphoning source life, right? And stealing this energy, rerouting this energy, and literally creating chaos among the collectives and among the source realms. So there's literal like mimic overlays, and once again there's fallen architects, right? So you got the fallen architects. These are what they call the fallen gods or the fallen angels, right? And then out of these fallen architects came like fallen constructs, and these are what we call the mimics, right? And the fallen architects are mimics too. So anything fallen is considered a mimic, right? In Volt, when we speak in Volt language or flame law, they are the root to the stagnancy. And not just stagnancy, these beings are literal, once again, parasites. And we know what parasites do, right? They literally, like vampires, drain your blood, and you feel me? And they do what they do until you fucking die and you deteriorate. And they can't sustain their own self. These are not even eternal beings. They lost their connection to, or not even lost it. They destroyed it. They fucked up their connection to the source, right? And now they don't have that eternal life force anymore. They are not that eternal life force. That's why they need to feed from other entities and other beings. That's why we had, look, 11:11 on the clock too. That's why we had entities like Christopher Columbus. Sir, what are you doing? Look at this guy. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Baby.
That's why we had entities like Christopher Columbus, right? That stepped on a land that was free land, and they talking about they discovered a new world. Talking about the new world. Oh, and then they went in there and they started killing, pillaging, doing all this weird shit. Where do these people come from? These type of mentalities and these type of ways of being, right? That's the fallen architects, the fallen angels, the fallen constructs. And these beings were claiming to believe in God. They were using Christianity, they were using Catholicism, they were using all of these different religions. Huh? They created all these different religious ideologies to take your power from you, to make you give your power to an entity outside of you, to them. In the Bible, it literally says, with respect and obey your earthly masters with respect and fear and with sincerity of heart, just as you would obey your Lord Christ. It literally says that shit. It literally says it. And they were literally, so you could tell me, oh, the original Bible didn't say that. That's fine. That's not the point, though. We talking about literal beings that remix this shit. So while the original wasn't, that's not what the original represented. We talking about the fact that these fallen architects exist, right? Because y'all want to jump past the fact that the Bible didn't represent. That's not what we're talking about, bro. We talking about the entities that used it, that contorted this information and this knowledge, and are now manipulating the rest of the society. That's what we're talking about. So when you ask about the source of all of stagnancy, is fallen architects, fallen constructs, fallen angels, fallen gods, fallen mimics, or mimics, because there's no such thing as a non-fallen mimic. Is our emotions tangible enough? Our thoughts tangible enough? Right. So,
If you don't invalidate them, right?
apparently, but that don't make them non-tangible. That's still, you still feeling them, and you still sensing them, and you still thinking about what you thinking. So you could invalidate something, but it doesn't mean it wasn't in your mind just now, or you didn't feel it. Right. So, see, that's called delusionality. So, natural radar systems, right? Like you said, we naturally are the radar because we are sentient beings. So what that means is everything is a sensation. Everything is a sense. Everything is intelligence within itself, meaning everything is self-explanatory, right? Um, you don't have to describe something in English in order for it to be to be tangible, right? Like for example, how would you describe that tree? You can't describe that tree. You just gonna say it's a tree, and it has branches that look like this, and but you can't really like give a full-on study basis upon that tree unless you study trees, and unless you into that type of science, unless you one of the creators and gods of that science, making the shit more tangible in a language format, right? In a language format. Like we should just trust ourselves. We should trust our senses. We should not doubt ourselves, purify doubt from our existence. So, in a way, hold a position, right? So, for example, if you the guard of a fortress and your job is not to let beings in the fortress, like let's say it's a bunch of zombies trying to break in the fortress, and your job is to keep them away from a certain part of the fortress, you just hold your position, right? Like you don't go out hunting for the zombies type shit. You don't question like, oh, where the zombies is gonna go, cause you already know where they gonna go, cause you know what they want, right? So you are already that place of value. You are already the value. You are already the currency. So hold that position, hold that mindset, anchor that mindset, ground that mindset. You are already the knowing. You create what is the knowing. So what you say that you desire next, that is the truth. That is the knowledge. That's the type of mindset you want to have as a celestial being, right? Now, if you operating based upon religion and you like and you think God is creating everything for you, now I can't give you a tangible way of nothing, bro, because your own belief system ain't tangible. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Like God, there's questions that y'all have that God has yet to answer. So I don't talk for that God. So that's what I say to religious folks, cause I guess people coming from that system will be the main ones asking such questions, and individuals coming from a hyper conditioned society, right? Like New York, because I was raised in New York too, so I know what it is. But it's like that sense within itself, like tangibility. Like I feel like everything is tangible, right, within itself. Like it doesn't need to look in a specific way for it to be tangible. It just is what it is. I have private services, and I offer private sessions, DNA activations, light code activations, vote consultations, flame readings, or private. If you want to look at it kind of like coaching, but it's not necessarily coaching because it goes beyond that. So, any individuals that would like to know how to use their abilities on a higher level, then hit me up, hit my bio link, DM me, connect with me. I don't know, whatever you feel called to do, whether it's book a service or DM me, do that, and we can build from there. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you have yet to subscribe. Gratitude for being present. This is the end of this video. We're gonna have the second part on Patreon. There were a few other questions that we're not necessarily placing on YouTube. So if you're interested in watching the finale of this video, tap in with our Patreon. It's gonna be in the description. Much love to y'all. Have a beautiful rest of y'all day. Peace. It's not about masculine or feminine. It's really about, as you were asking that question, we received a light code or we unlocked a light code called. Let's go back even further. How were hospitals even installed here?